Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for The Penguin, Episode 6. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sorry, I'm going to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on The Penguin, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review. So, this show just continues to climb, right? We have been talking about, like, hey, this is one of the best, if not the best show of the year. So far, right? And this has been a hell of a year for television. I mean, you want to talk about Shogun, you want to talk about The Boys, you want to talk about House of the Dragon, so on and so forth. We can keep going on and on and on of just fantastic television that has premiered this year in 2024. And again, this show with the Penguin that had very little to no buzz whatsoever to really climb up to this really big phenomenon that we haven't had in quite some time, in all honesty. And this episode in particular is no different. And what I love about this episode, which to me, this episode to me may be my second favorite. I mean, I really don't think anything's going to top episode 4 at this point. But what this episode did is that it really set the groundwork for you to know where everyone truly lands. And we're going to kick off with Victor here, because there's a lot of great scenes in this show and in this episode in particular. And you know, Victor, for the most part, like, you know, he's made his side, and, you know, he had the episode where he made his bed, right, in episode 3, where he does not get on the bus with his girlfriend. He had his way out, he was done, but no, he chose to go back to Oz. And, you know, would have liked to see a little bit of the aftermath of maybe her keep calling him or, you know, texting him F off and all that stuff, and how hurt she is by him. But, you know, I can understand why she just doesn't choose to talk to him anymore. But I just would have liked to see that a little bit. But, you know, he basically made his bed, right? He chose to stay. This was the episode where he laid in that bed and it became very, very real. Because, you know, we've been comparing Victor to, he is the Robin of the bad side of Gotham. If Oz is Batman, Victor is Robin. And, you know, something very funny at the end of this episode where Sophia has the crowbar. I really don't think the creators thought that deep of it. Like, oh yeah, Sophia is Oz's Joker, and, you know, she's going to have the crowbar, and that's how she's going to kill Victor, because, you know, be a nice homage to Robin and all that stuff. I really don't think the creators thought that. I just like how us, as a fandom, were like, yeah, Victor is like Oz's Robin, and now here's Sophia coming in with a crowbar to Victor and Oz's mom. But this is the episode where he has to face Squid. Now, I really thought this would be a 4-episode arc for Victor, where, you know, he is still struggling with that killer instinct, that killer mentality, because I was like, you know, when he is having that confrontation with Squid, I was like, Victor, you're going to have to kill him. You're going to have to kill him, or otherwise this is going to get really, really dirty and get really, really scary, and you're going to have to sort this out. And when he is trying to, like, push it onto Oz, be like, look, we have a problem. I really thought I'd get rid of this guy. He's making a lot of threats. I don't think he should be part of the crew, blah, 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 blah. And Oz just isn't there because, you know, he's dealing with the ramification with his mom, and we'll get into that a little bit. And then when Victor's like, nope, I'm going to take care of it after, you know, he pours his, after Oz, he's like, man, I just don't know what to do with my mom. And he goes, no, I'm going to take care of it. And he meets him in the alley, and I'm just like, man, Victor, you're going to have to kill him. You're going to have to kill him. You gave him the choices. And that's the other thing with this show, too, is that us as an audience are like, kind of like, okay, look, this is the cards that we're dealt with. You gave him option A, gave him $500, which I really wish you picked up as you were leaving, but I get it, you were frantic. Gave him the $500 and said, hey, just stay low, and if I need you, I'll come get you. He didn't want to do that. He tried to force the hand. You showed him the situation. Boom. That's how it goes. And right when he made that shot, he's like, why did you make me do... When he was saying, why did you make me do that? Oh, man. No, it's just like, yep, he has fully gone to the dark side. He has completely embraced it. And he has the scene of warmth with Oz when he goes back to the lair. And you can just tell, you know, he's deteriorated. He is just so lost. Like, you know, he just took his first life. And it wasn't, or his second life technically, because, you know, he did hit that guy with the car, but maybe he was just knocked unconscious, and like, this is like a confirmed, I killed a man. And, you know, he's looking at Oz, and Oz just knows, he goes, Was it the guy? Yeah, okay, you took care of it. And he's taking him in, and you know, when he's hugging him and he says the line, it gets easier. Like, oh man, it's just so like heartbreaking, because Victor was a good guy. He was truly a good guy, but no, he has fully gone down this dark path. He will not be a good guy soon. If he makes it out of this show, which I highly, highly doubt, he is going to become ruthless. He's going to kill more. He's going to get more comfortable with it, and who knows what's going to happen. But to Oz now, we'll transition to Oz, because he had a lot of really heartwarming scenes in this show, you know, especially the one with his mom. You know, she's going through all these dementia, she has all these sicknesses, and you know, she's like the scene where he was talking to Victor, he goes, she had some other sickness, and he goes like, well, what is that? And he has all, and he's just talking about all these different things to do, and then the mom's sitting there after she's been in the bath for who knows how many hours, where she really shouldn't be alone at all. Like, she should have a full-on watch, or if anything, she should be out of the hospital, but still. And the mom's just sitting there like, look, when my brain goes away, you have to take me out. And it's such a weird, complex relationship between Oz and his mom, because the reason why he's doing everything is to get her approval, but it always never seems to be enough, where you're kind of thinking, if he does make it and he takes over the Falcone house or the Gigante house or whatever house that he takes over, and he moves her in, would she still be satisfied, or was like, hey, what's next at this point? Because that's just the relationship that it is with them. And we'll see if the mom even makes it out of this, now that Sophia has got her plus Victor. And it's just, you know, the dialogue and the way that they talk, it's just really, really rich. And, you know, he's having those really tender scenes with both, not just Victor, but with his mom as well, where you do start to really, like, you know, fall for this guy, even though he does absolutely horrendous things. Even in the finale scene, right before we see Sophia in the apartment with Victor and his mom, and, you know, he's talking to all the other the game leaders, and he's going, look, you know, they don't even know your name, and they just run you because they know they can. If we fight back, we can really take over. And one guy's going, you don't have a code. Your little stab us in the back at any time. Like, you know what? Why should we follow you if you don't even have an honor? And I was like, yeah, no, I can't argue against that. But no, he gets everyone with him. He did make a very powerful monologue speech. But yeah, like he is still a very, very horrible human being. But even, you know, it's those tender moments that we see with Victor being a parental figure and being the best son that he could be to his mother, that really puts us on his side, which is when we get to Sophia, who by episode 4, I've been saying, look, I think I'm on Team Sophia, which I really don't feel like I should be, because she is the antagonist, right? But Oz has done horrible things to her, where, you know, you're really in this situation of, yeah, no, prove you're the Don. This was rightfully yours, and it was literally stripped away from you because of that man. So do whatever you gotta do. Like, when she killed her whole family, I was like, yes, queen. Take it all. Kill them all. Do whatever you gotta do. And this is when her and, and Maroni are starting to make their play to find Oz. And I like their scene that they had at the beginning where, they had the dinner. And it was a good contrast to the two dinners where they're losing the battle. They don't have the drug, but they're still in this very nice house with power, and had wine and this nice pasta. And I really like how, they're really going through different grievances, and like it's like a weird thing that they like need each other, but also they probably should stay away from each other. I really hope this relationship doesn't get any more weirder, because he makes the dinner and she's like, hey, you want me to chop? And she chops, and he makes the bowl for her and she takes a bite, and he's watching her, like such a dad move, right? And she's going, yeah, it's good. And they're having these nice conversation, nice little back and forth. And, again, it was just a nice, very tender moment. They go to his apartment and he's like, man, because Maroni really wants an eye for an eye. He wants one of his family members and he wants to take him out, which is why, when we get to this triple threat thing, where Sophia, I think she's just going to use the mom as bait, to get Oz over here, and they're like, okay, you can go. Maroni, I think, is going to kill the mother, and probably will kill Victor as well, because, again, an eye for an eye. You took away my family, I will take away yours, and this is where the true triple threat comes into play, because I really don't think this Gigante-Maronia alliance is going to last. I like the moments that we've had with them together, and I can see why they're aligned and why they feel like they may need each other in some way. Again, that dinner scene was very beautiful. But I think Maroni is too blinded by rage, and he's not going to listen to Sophia, and where Sophia is like, I'm the Don, you do as I say, and if he doesn't listen to her, then again, now we're in a full-on triple threat type fight. Within this battle, where I do think Maroni is going to be the one that dies, and Sophia and Oz somehow live to get to be in the Batman too. But yeah, she goes on and she finds, the adult worker, we will say, for lack of a better word, and she goes on the hunt. And I really like the play where, she opens the door and she goes, I'm surprised to see me. He goes, no, I told the girl to bring you in, because the girls got each other's back. And this scene was probably my favorite scene of the whole entire show, where Eve, I believe is her name, is just, talking it out like, look, I don't know where he is. And if you're going to kill me, just make sure you leave my girls alone. And the conversation where he goes, look, you killed these girls. They were family to me. And she goes, no, I'm not the hangman. And she comes clean about Oz and all that stuff. And it was at that moment, and they're both facing each other in the chairs. And she has the gun to her. He goes, look, you're not the hangman. And at the moment that Sophia proved she was not the hangman, and she was going to let her live. She was going to let her live and go, hey, all right, you got your girls back. I can respect that. Walks away. And that's when Eve goes, oh, yeah, he's at Point in the zoo. Because that was the ultimate betrayal. Like, Oz let her family die. And again, a girl has to have a girl's back. And it was just, everything within that scene was just, again, it was just so amazingly directed, amazingly talked. The cinematography was really good too. I like how she was just like really belittling her a little bit, going, oh, you got all these different disguises, and how she's talking about, man, it just ain't all black and white, all these different things, and how they talk to men and all this stuff, like how they're so similar but yet so different because of how their upbringings were. And again, just this whole episode to me was just filled with moments of like that, where scene after scene was just out of the park. I'm going to compare the two dinner scenes. Were really good, where one was really rich, while one team is thriving on the streets but still has to eat in the cold with no power, while the other is losing on the streets but still living in these houses. Victor finally going full on to the dark side, having that confrontation with Squid. Oz having the conversation with his mom after the bathtub and making her super pretty, and then having the tender moment with Victor after he has done what he did. And then even Victor and his mom having a nice little dance before, again, penultimate episode next week. The show just continues to get better and better and better. And also just some of the funniest laughs too, when he goes up to you guys, you're going to give me the power. And, he's doing that to get the power on for his mom, but little does he know he's actually really helping the city overall. And God, it was just so capped off hilariously with you have more room than you think. That was just so, I love this episode. I absolutely love this episode. I think after talking to him, I think I like it just as much as episode 4. Definitely not better, but again, just 2 fantastic episodes, and this episode was absolutely stellar. So comment below, let me know your thoughts. If you made it this far, please leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe as we do continue on this ride, along with other content that on your way pretty soon. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.